What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Legion of X, issue number 7, as we come out of the events of Judgment Day. It is back to business as usual, but something horrible is coming for the Astral Plane. Not only that, there appears to be something that is messing with mutant DNA. Something is changing our mutants. We don't fully understand what that is yet, but this is truly laying the groundwork for Fall of X. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up on the Astral Plane. We have Nightcrawler, who is letting everybody know that we are going to continue to do what we have always been doing. Everything is back to 100% with the altar. The gates are back opened up, but what everybody is thinking about is the horns that are on Nightcrawler's head, randomly manifesting recently. He doesn't understand why, nobody else understands why. He has yet to figure this out, but there is still very much to investigate. They appeared overnight without any prompting, but for the time being, the Legionnaires are going out, they're going to patrol, they are going to keep the peace. Nightcrawler would be lying to himself if he didn't really concern himself with what is happening to him. And so while he goes to investigate this, we pick up with Legion, Blindfold, Cypher, and Warlock. And Warlock had come here because he truly wants to see the Astral Plane. But more than that, he is very interested in some things that have been floating around that came from the Astral Plane. They are referring to them as astral blooms. Legion says that these drift from the idea space. But Warlock, he had found one on Juggernaut's shoulder. He had discovered many more of them on Krakoa. They cling to the mutants that have visited this bubble reality. This is when Warlock, he asks what Legion knows about the Phalanx. Legion telling him what he does know, that they are a cybernetic hive mind, usually very, very bad news. And he believes that they were created by Warlock's people, but Warlock lets him know that that is a very common misconception. In fact, the opposite is true, with the Phalanx being a higher dimensional intelligence outside of physical space. They harvest lower planes, and the Phalanx, they scatter viral life across multiple realities. Whenever the Cantogen reaches critical mass, it becomes intelligent. It becomes his people, and then they explore, they infect, and they destroy. And whenever places that are powerful enough or novel modes of being are discovered, much like the Astral Plane, that is when an unusual algorithm is triggered. And so when it encounters an advanced ecosphere, much like the Astral Plane, one that is too valuable to merely consume, it begins to change behavior. It builds the Babel Spire. That is when local technarchy is summoned. It responds without conscious thought, and all findings, they are rendered as data for enrichment of Phalanx. His people completely unaware of their role as slaves. Only those that are bonded, like Warlock and Cypher, can truly see the truth. Cypher helps him see things as they are, telling Legion that you saw my father Magnus die. He believes that these are his father's ashes. These astral blooms are that, letting him know that viral bodies take multiple forms, from cybernetic to biopsychic to even astral. Even in idea space, Phalanx must have its fingers and eyes. These are like probes, like little spores coming into the Astral Plane, more out of curiosity and doing an inspection. But given critical mass, a presence of a novel mutant community, Warlock does believe that eventually this is going to call out. And so for them to be able to really test this theory, we see Legion use his ability and he gathers up all of the astral bloom. As it gathers up into a small ball, we see Warlock using this as bait. Just like the fingers and eyes of the phalanx, they take many forms. So does its mouth, and this is where we see a giant creature come to eat this ball of astral bloom. This is astral technarchy. And so if there was any doubt in your mind, if you're a little bit confused on what all of this means that the phalanx are making their return. They are making their presence known. And if you guys remember, in the 10 lives and deaths of Wolverine, we saw a future where Moira had figured out the phalanx are the one thing that are going to take down mutantkind. With everybody ascending, it is the ultimate weapon. That is what takes us over to Bar Sinister. We have Nightcrawler coming to Sinister because if anybody knows what is going on with him, it may be Sinister. With Sinister letting it be known that he doesn't want Nemesis here. The two of them constantly butting heads, wanting nothing to do with one another. After some bickering, after some arguing, Nightcrawler, he lets Nemesis know that you should probably go outside. Wait outside and we will turn something in the astral plane into a coffee research lab for you. And with him making his exit, with Pixie also taking off, Sinister doesn't really understand fully what is going on with Nightcrawler. Sinister, being the very crude individual he is, he lets Nightcrawler know if you have tried plugging and unplugging, not really understanding what this means. That is until Sinister pulls up a pistol and he kills Nightcrawler. That is what takes us to the world between worlds. Before Nightcrawler is resurrected, he has a conversation with the spirit of variance, now going by the name of Vox Ignis, which means voice of the fire, saying that they don't have much time, but there are a couple of things that he needs to let Nightcrawler know. First of all, they are on the same side, and second, he is in the world between worlds, prior to his resurrection happening, that he probably is not going to remember any of this, but he came hoping that something sticks in that big heart of his, that if you are going to remember anything from this conversation, let it be this: Legion, you must protect him at all costs, because Banshee has seen, he has been shown what happens if Legion faces the future alone, and to tell him that Mother Righteous and Banshee, they are the ones that convey this information to him, because right now he needs all the help that he can get. That is when Nightcrawler is resurrected, and we see that his horns, they didn't disappear. In fact, they have grown in size. Taking us over to Mother Righteous. She's a little bit upset because Legion has been getting help from Warlock. They have set up astral defenses, consciousness traps, warp weaves, and mathematic artillery. This makes it hard for Mother Righteous, because how is she supposed to get Legion to accept her help if you have individuals like Warlock who are giving him all the assistance he truly needs? And this is really hard for Legion. The idea of making this place have these weapons and these defense systems. Now, he's not ungrateful for it. He knows that they are needed, but it's still something that he very much did not want to do. As Mother Righteous, she watches this encounter go on, with Warlock and Cypher leaving the astral plane. We see that there is some kind of hijacker on Warlock. As he goes through the portal, we see a very vague shadow. This shadow appears to be Nimrod, taking us over to the station, headquarters of the Legion of X, with Nightcrawler apologizing to Nemesis, saying that he never should have trusted Sinister. In fact, Sinister, he had no idea what he was doing. He had no idea why this is happening. He only made the situation worse. Not even the Five were able to purge this out of him, but they have found a match. A morphic signature growing in intensity. Nemesis is expecting to see more cases from mutants of this happening. This is going to make it easier to pinpoint the mutant in origin, if you will. Ever since they were able to pick up this signature, the Soul Dagger has been vibrating like a tuning fork, almost like it is able to see what is causing it. That is what takes us to Los Angeles. What we have is the Black Knight. The Black Knight appearing to be in the midst of battle with somebody. That is when Nightcrawler bamps into the room. Everybody a little bit confused. Believing this to be Dane, it is in fact Dane's daughter. For those that don't know, Black Knight and his daughter, the two of them have been sharing the mantle of Black Knight, because Dane now has the throne that is imbued with the powers, the same powers that the sword has. If you want to understand that, you're gonna have to go back, you're gonna have to check out the videos I have covering Black Knight and the Curse of the Ebony Blade. But they find themselves in an X-Core building. The Black Knight was here to meet with Angel. He had excused himself just for a moment, and that is when she heard a giant crash. And then there was a giant beast before them. The Black Knight believing that this beast is what killed Angel. Nightcrawler recognizes that this is no creature. This is no beast. That is in fact Angel, mutating much like we see with Nightcrawler, but on a much grander scale. We see that Angel has transformed into something terrifying. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. There is a lot of information that is throughout the entirety of this comic. While Nightcrawler is hugely focusing on whatever is going on with him and now Angel, there appears to be something that is spreading across mutantkind. It is making them appear as monsters. This could very likely be the work of Orcus, an attempt to make them look horrifying, look like something out of a horror movie, something even more to turn humankind against mutantkind. This is kind of a showing your true colors aspect, a real smart tactic if this is Orcus. Moreover, we see Orcus also working on the inside of the Astral Plane. Nimrod is investigating this plane, being able to hijack, be a hitchhiker on Warlock. We don't really know if Orcus is responsible for these little spores that are phalanx. The investigators to see what is going on. But if this is true, we could very likely soon in the near future see the phalanx return. We know that this is one of the biggest threats to all of mutantkind, to all of humanity. In the 10 deaths and lives of Wolverine, we saw an outcome that was not good for anybody. Moira, she turned against everybody. She is the one responsible for everything that happened in that timeline. Wolverine being one of the last few individuals to not be assimilated into the phalanx. And we have still yet to figure out what the heck Mother Righteous is up to. We don't know her end goal. We don't know what she is planning. She appears to be trying to help out Legion, not necessarily mutantkind itself, but she wants to protect Legion at all costs, believing that his future, it is essential for whatever is to come. And it appears that Banshee, the spirit of variance, he firmly believes in this cause. But could he be being played? Could Mother Righteous be somebody else in disguise? There are so many questions that we are left with, but this is building up to be one heck of a story arc. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with Legion of X, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only would you be helping out the channel tremendously, you would be getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.